Hello everybody and welcome back. Welcome back. 10.11 is coming and we are here with Jean to talk about spotters. Bye-bye.
That's the joke, lads.
So let's jump straight into it and let's see what the neutral changes are. So we have Geralt Yrden and Geralt Igni. Changes to cards which...
Igni is not as much of a problem. There's like more counterplay around it. But we did found that its conditions, minimum power conditions, were a bit low by nowadays standards.
Yeah. Moving on up, we are heading into monsters, and we're gonna look at Tyrannelia, which is one of the new cards.
We didn't want it to bring too much changes to them. The one thing we did is, so with Tyrannelia.
So that's monsters, and we're moving on to Northern Realms, and there's a couple of
So the funny thing is that because they were so designated at public enemy number 1, it actually kind of limited their impact on the ladder.
How does anyone find that funny?
Moving on to Nilfgaard, and we'll be starting with spotters, if I'm not mistaken. So spotter, order Luzo armor. That's new, right? And also a change to provision going from 5 to 6. And yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. So that's spotter for you. And moving on, we have a change to imprisonment Nilfgaard.
That's what I'm talking about!
So that's the first of the levers that we are targeting. This answer to imprisonment is not perfect, right? Like, it doesn't change the fact that it's a very good ability that brings control and range. So maybe in the future we'll have to come back to it.
So that's imprisonment for you. And moving on, we have Milton, the pay ram.
You know, you would just drop the card and then you would use another one to mitigate this boost that you had given to the enemy. Then you would click Milton order on itself, and that would just bring you like 14 points, right?
Yeah. We have 2 more changes here, if I'm not mistaken. We have Trahern and then Albo.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
yep, the potential it has is not okay on such a low provision card. And as such, we think it should represent a bigger investment if you actually want to run it in your deck.
And moving on, we have Syndicate, if I'm not mistaken. And we have Siggy making a comeback. So Siggy Rubin Mastermind.
That's what I'm waiting for. That's what it's all about.
Look at a collusion.
Created this incredible combo with Tunnel Drill, where you could very easily pull Tunnel Drill and just play a special in the same turn. So the combo is still doable, right? You can still play Shitty Vendor, you can still play Collusion, but less flexible than what it used to be.
So we're moving on to Scoiatael. Let's jump straight into that. We have Guerrilla Tactics and Milva Sharpshooter changes. Well, Milva is actually getting a boost.
This in general will bring you more value than actually using it on your own unit.
Moving on, we have some
Do you
other
think
changes,
that's necessary?
being Nyan from Dryad Enchantress, Frog Mating Season, and Station. Well, we're seeing buffs here all around.
Yeah, a lot of buffs.
Yeah.
The Symbiosis deck has not been terrible, but it has been struggling, you know?
Yeah.
I disagree.
And all of these changes, so a bunch of them, first of all, they aim at giving a bit more choice in the 4 provision range.
Moving on, Skellige. Starting off with Reckless Flurry. So we're seeing a change here in terms of the damage, which is going up, and the charges are kind of going down by 1. Okay, so that's Reckless Flurry for you. And now moving on to Sove. There you go. One of my favorite arts from the past card drop, for sure.
And so with Sove, we have raised the power of Sove by 1 to, you know, compensate a bit the nerf, but basically we'll like monitor how Sove is doing.
Yeah, we have one last thing for Skellige, which is actually buffs for Patricidal Fury, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, to help Sove.
Do you think that's necessary?
But more importantly, you're gaining so much flexibility, right?
Yeah.
Because now, if you're in round 1 and you're missing 1 Bloodthirst to your triggers, you can just pop a shard, right?
Yeah. Before we get to the seasonals, I wanted to also talk about something which is going to happen with this update. which is something that we're adding to the reward book, and I'm actually going to show it right now. We're adding something called resource exchange, so you can be able to trade reward points for meteorite powder or scraps or ultimate kegs. So you will be able to exchange one of your reward points for 10 resources or 25, or when it comes to card scraps, 30, or 4 for 1 keg.
To be clear, the title that's on the left is wrong. It is like you're not exchanging resources for reward points. You are exchanging reward points
for resources. Exactly. And moving on to the last thing that we want to talk about in this video, which is the seasonals that we'll be expecting coming in 10.11.
One new seasonal in 10.11, and it's called Our Battle Will Be Legendary.
Nice.
How do you do, fellow
and
kids?
Basically, upon a terrain match, your entire deck is replaced, thrown away, and replaced by all of the legendaries from your faction.
I mean, it's all
It
right.
gives you
like,
this. And one more thing, Billy Balance is making a comeback in 10.11.
Nice.
And we've done a very slight tweak to it, where your stratagem will now be replaced by a free power bear.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. See you later.
See you, Burza. See you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
That's it?